This will be a short video. Uh, I guess just discussing specifically one of the changes um, in the big patch that Blizzard has suggested. So this one's specifically regarding the Tempests, and I'm sure many of you already know that there's like an obvious there's like a lot of obvious abusive things you can do with the Tempests already, but um, this kind of makes this kind of puts them on a whole new level of abuse. So this was against some random Master Terran who was just trying out the changes like myself. So basically, my thought process here is to proxy a Tempest and basically just ransack the natural as much as possible with the new spell. I don't remember what it's called, Disruption Field or something. So I started out the game with Proxy Oracle. It's a pretty common opener for Protoss. It's not standard. It's pretty cheesy, but it's all the same. He scouted it pretty well. He knew I was proxying in a Stargate somewhere. Got his turrets in time. And all in all, he's playing very safe. He's got a lot of gas banked up. He took 2 gas and doesn't. Oh, there's the factory. Anyway, so he's basically countered my aggressive opening already. There's not much damage I can do here, but you'll see how strong, how ridiculously powerful these Tempests can be, and why it's not probably particularly fair. Just throw down a fleet beacon after. I got an expansion with this too. It's a little bit later than what would be considered standard now, but it's not so late that I'm leaving myself economically screwed. So it's hard to get anything done with the Oracle because he's already got 3 missile turrets. Start my Tempest. And basically, in a standard game, if you're playing Terran here, you gotta feel pretty good. You're feeling pretty safe. Proxy Tempests in a normal game here would still probably get some damage done, but they're not going to do anywhere near as much damage as it did in this game. The new Disruption Web is insane. Or Disruption Sphere. Alright. So basically, my thought process was just drop it in the mineral line. And you can't mine. It's it. This lasts 35 seconds or something. 32 seconds. And it just denies him mining from these 4 or 5 patches for the rest of that period. The cooldown is 40 something seconds, so realistically the only amount of downtime you have waiting for this spell is about 7 seconds. So you cast your spell finishes, you have 7 seconds, and you can cast it again. Once you have a few Tempests, you basically have no downtime at all on his mineral line. The Disruption Sphere also one-shots missile turrets, so even though Tempests are 6 range, it doesn't matter because you can just cast one of these Disruption Spheres on a missile turret and the missile turret's dead. The only realistic counter here is Vikings. He didn't scout the fleet beacon, so I guess he doesn't really have an option. He tries to counterattack here, but it's going to go really poorly for him. He has such a small army because he hasn't been mining. He literally has no choice here. I'm sure some people saw this coming, but I know that some people didn't as well. Some people were arguing with me about it. Yeah. So basically, he's got his units, and I even was like sloppy with my macro. I could have had like triple this amount of units and crush this easily. So more or less, I just keep dropping Disruption Spheres in his mineral line, and really isn't much I can do. I'm not being very good with my Oracle either. Good Revelation, so I have Vision. Cast range on the spell is 13, so it outranges anything he can attack me with. He's trying to save up Vikings, but the game's already over. He's already lost. This isn't. This map is a little bit abusive for it. Maybe if he had skittered the Stargate and denied it, he could have done something. But on other maps like Sejong or something, or there's a lot of maps where you can have no counterplay against this at all. Like you can't always scout a proxy Stargate. It's just not possible. And if you are relying on scouting a proxy Stargate, then you're gonna lose a lot of games because you might think he's proxying it, and in reality, he's just doing something else. You have to have a build that's safe against multiple options, and if you go Mass Vikings versus this, it might hold it, but what if you proxied a Robo and he's got Mass Immortal? You're just gonna get wrecked. Something like that, I don't know. I'm just bantering now, or rambling now, but point is this spell looks a little bit too strong. The game's over. Like I could have a lot more stuff, a lot more units if my macro was good, but I don't know. I think this short little demonstration highlights what's wrong with the new Disruption Sphere. It needs to be an upgrade that takes a significant amount of time to research. Um, it needs to, it's just, the spell in general needs to be come much later into the game than it currently is. I don't see it being fair. And that's about it. That's all.